Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. My name is Eric, and today I will be delivering my first speech to you. What would I like to know about you? Or better yet, what would you like to know about me? This was a question that I asked myself many times over the past couple of days in preparation for this speech. Essentially, I put myself in the seat you're in while I had myself up here as well. And I asked myself, if Eric is standing up here and giving his first speech, what would I really like to know about him? And so essentially, for the rest of this next few minutes, I am going to be telling you about myself. I am going to be telling you about my past, my childhood experiences, my adulthood, and along every step of the way, I am going to be sharing with you some life lessons and key values that I have taken with me. Because I do understand that for you to know about someone, you have to have a good sense of their past, and having a good sense of their past will give you an indication of what the person is about, how they are the way they are, and why they are the way they are today. But on the other hand, I do understand that we are what we are today based on the decisions that we make. So there is a combination of our past and the choices we make today that make us who we are. I believe that this will be a journey of ups and downs, hopefully a lot of ups and less downs, a journey for me to become a better and improved public speaker, to become a better man, and also most importantly, to become a better Herschel Toastmaster. Once again, my name is Eric, although our returning president has numerously called me one of Robert's in-law. A nickname that I take kindly to. I am going to be telling you about myself, and to tell you about myself as a baby, I am the third child of 4 children. I have an older brother, an older sister, there is me, and then there's a younger brother. I am born to a mother who was a merchant, hardworking, dedicated woman. My father was an intellect, he was a teacher. To describe myself as a baby, I will reference what my grandmother told me when I visited her last November in Ghana. She basically called me a low-maintenance baby. Now, you're probably thinking, what is low maintenance or a low-maintenance baby? Essentially, if you gave me food and a place to sleep, I was the ideal baby. I didn't cry, and I didn't cause any headache. Now, if you were to ask my grandmother, how was Eric as a childhood? That's a different conversation. She called me stubborn as a mule, stubborn as a rock. I was erratic, and I will share with you something that she basically called me. It's a nickname in Ghana. It doesn't translate very quite well in English, but it's tefrija. And essentially, if I was to try and translate literally into English, it is someone who basically plays with fire. So essentially, she called me erratic, damn near crazy, hyper, and over-energized. But for now, I am the one giving this speech. The interesting part is, when my grandmother actually said this, my mother was nearby basically having a ball, because basically she was second-hand motioning everything my grandmother had said. But I am here today to tell you about myself. And in my opinion, I was the best son and the best grandson that a mother or grandfather could have had. Like I said, my mother was a hardworking woman, a merchant. Basically, she buy and sell goods that you will find in the convenience store. And through my mom, I learned one key lesson. You need to be able to put effort in everything that you do. Dedicate yourself and put passion with everything that you're trying to do. So I learned that I needed to be able to ensure that I put effort with everything that I do. My father, on the other hand, the intellect, the teacher, essentially he was able to attain most of his life aspirations through education. So right there I learned that put effort in everything that you do, appreciate education, and then at that point, at least you'll be able to achieve a couple of things within your life as well. Between the two of them, there was one common theme: discipline. It is so easy to get derailed by the thing that we're trying to do. And so I learned that I needed to be dedicated, put effort in everything that I do. I needed to learn to appreciate education. And I needed to remain disciplined with everything that I do. So that was a little bit about myself as a child, disregarding what my grandmother had said, but understand that I was the best son and the best grandson anyone could have had. Like I said, my father was a teacher. and through his education, he eventually migrated to Canada. He spent a brief stint at U of T, and then eventually he wanted the whole family to come here and join him. And so we did. When I came here, I wouldn't call Canada as the land of milk and honey, but I will agree that it was a land of opportunities. So I went through high school, I went through Ryerson, I studied engineering, and then I graduated from engineering with a bachelor's degree afterwards. I worked with General Motors for a while. I was there in St. Catharines by myself for about a year, and then eventually I moved back to Brampton. A brief stint with my parents where I basically worked with the Gap Inc. while staying with my parents. But after I had a taste of freedom while I was on my own in St. Catharines, I knew that I could no longer stay within my parents' rules for that much longer. And during that same time, I met someone, a beautiful woman who is now my wife. We got to know each other a little bit more. We recently got married, and we live in Brampton right now. So like I said earlier, I have some key values that I've taken with me along the way. Be dedicated, be disciplined, and have an appreciation for learning. So as I stand in front of you today, I have an appreciation to learn to become a better public speaker, a better man, and a better Herschel Toastmaster. Thank you.